Today we are going to critically analyze the poem A River by A.K. Ramanujan. You will feel or you will find that Ramanujan as a realist in the poem. The poem shows his distrust for romantic sentiments. He has written the poem in a detached manner. Throughout the poem, you will feel that there is a satirical, mocking tone. There is a reflection on those poets who evade reality. The poem shows his concern for human sufferings. Memory plays an important role in the poem. So, on the basis of these points, we will try to analyze the poem. Right? So, Ramanujan is a modern poet. He is a realist. He distrusts shallow romantic sentiments which make one escape from reality. In A River, he castigates those Tamil poets, old and new, who always write about cities and temples instead of real human beings, or about the river VIIIB in flood, which enthuses them with romantic sentiments instead of making think of the havoc it causes all around. The old poets carried on with the romantic tradition, and regretfully, the new ones only imitated. The poet visits Madurai and sees the river VIIIB, which flows near it. In a detached manner, he says, I am quoting the lines from the poem, the river has water enough to be poetic only once a year, and then carries away in the first half hour 3 village houses. In a playful tone, he adds fanciful details when he narrates how the flood take away. Again, some lines from the poem. A couple of cows named Gopi and Vrinda, and one pregnant woman expecting identical twins with no moles on their bodies, with different colored diapers to tell them apart. In a satirical, mocking tone, the poet points out that no one spoke in verse about drowning of the pregnant woman and the havoc caused by the flood. The river remains dry in the summer and has water only during a brief period once in a year. Its dryness does not attract any poet. In a series of snapshot images, the poet himself portrays the picture of the dry river. As the river dries up, one can easily see the sand drips, and again some lines I would like to tell you. Straw and women's hair clogging the water gates at the rusty bars, under the bridges with patches of repair all over them. So, in a beautiful image, the poet then likens shining weight stones lying on the river bat to sleepy crocodiles, and the drivers to shaven water buffaloes sitting lazily in the sun. Both the images are arresting in their visual likeness and appeal. They built up a familiar view. Though these images, the poet is trying to reinforce the fact that the river, even in its dryness, is an appropriate poetic subject, and it can evoke poetic feelings. But ironically, the Tamil poets sang only of the floods. It is a reflection on those poets who evade reality and escape into a make believe world, ignoring human sufferings. So, in a way, the Tamil poets reveal emotional, spiritual dryness, which has its objective correlative in the dryness of the river. The poem is very significant because it reveals Ramanujan's concern for human sufferings, his originality, and his ability to use telling images and phrases. However, one does not help feeling that the mocking tone in the description of the washing away of the cows and pregnant women by floods undercuts the sting of misery involved. The amusing effect created by the description seems to be incongruous in the tragic context. You will see that memory also plays an important role in the poem. However, it is not merely a subjective memory. As the poet recalls his personal experience, he relates the personal past to the historical and the cultural. In an attempt to show the continuity, he also shows the differences between the literary past and the present, romance and realism, fact and vision. That's all. Thank you.